Hello, hello, welcome back. And today we're talking about why you are so burnt out and always in a rush, and how we're missing out on joy in the process. And this is going to be super impactful, super deep, super insightful video, so definitely stick around. And if you're new here, my name is Amanda, and here we talk everything about how to be the best version of ourselves and live our best life, be our own dream girl. And you know, and everything that goes with it. So if you're interested in any of that, then definitely check out my other videos. I think you'll like them. So back to today's topic. This is going to be more of just a talking style video because this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, or at least for the past few years, and I feel like most people don't. And it's a really important one because why are we always in such a rush? Like, why? Are we rushing towards aging? Are we rushing to just get to death faster? Like, what is the reason behind all of the rush? Like, why are we always so busy? Like, what's the point? If you watched my video, my book review on The Untethered Soul, it's the most amazing video ever. Will change your life. Towards the end, we were talking about how death is the greatest teacher. And how, imagine if the death angel comes to you and says that, you're coming with me tonight. And you're like, no, give me at least one more week. I need to say, love my family and all this stuff. And the death angel is probably going to be like, what? You need one more week? What about the 52 weeks I gave you this last year alone? And what about all of the hundreds of weeks I gave you before that? Why would you need one more week? So I thought that's a really good analogy for we should be living every day, every week, as if it's our last one. Because one day it will be. And, life is so short. It's just a blink of an eye. And like how they say, the grass that withers away. So what is truly important in life? Truly, what is? Love, family, being with your family, showing that you love them, appreciating them, and having fun with them, being with God, and spending time with good friends and making memories. That's really what it's all about. Why do we have to keep ourselves so occupied and so busy every second of the day? We are living in the most distracted society of all times. We can never get a chance to just sit quietly with ourselves, and most people don't want to. They're like, God forbid if I have to spend the weekend by myself. Like, they have to make all these plans and all this stuff so that they're not alone. And what are they so scared of? I think that's an interesting thing to think about. That's why people they get on drugs, and they'll have to be on alcohol and all of these things, and have depression and anxiety and panic attacks. It's because they haven't sat down to actually prioritize their life and find what truly matters. And it doesn't take very long. I don't know why people push it off so much. And it's super easy once you do it. But it's so important because, what is the rush for? Why do we have to keep ourselves in so many activities, doing so many things, working so hard? Like, for what? We're not taking our money with us when we die. Anything can happen. If we died tomorrow, will the world have been in any better of a place? Would our families have been impacted, like they were more loved and appreciated, and they'll always remember you as the sweetest, impact on their life? Because that's what truly matters. That's the only legacy you're going to leave. Because even the most famous people of history, we forget. Even all the kings of France or all of that throughout history, no one remembers them, and they were at the top of society. So what's that to say about just the regular so-called rest of us? It's okay to have quiet time or not be so busy. Because what are we rushing towards? Honestly, I know I keep repeating that, but what are we rushing towards? You have your kids, and then you're always rushing with work, and then rushing through breakfast, and then rushing to get them to school, and then they come back and you're rushing them through homework, and then you're rushing them to bed, and it's year after year of rush. What is the rush for? You're gonna to miss out on their childhood? What's the point? We are human beings, not human doings. We're here to be. Like, we're in this world to experience it and then to move on. Like, all of us are working so hard to be making money, and then we get in such bad attitudes and are so like under pressure and everything to just get these things done fast and like do the next YouTube video, and then I need to do this exercise, and then I need to go out with this person, and I need to get a whole new wardrobe, and then I need to text all these people, and then I need to do these new stories on Instagram so everyone in the world knows what I'm up to, and I need to go to this appointment and then do this activity, and then I come back, I need to do this activity with my kids, and then I need to like spend a teeny bit of time with like my husband, and then we have to like hurry up and like go to bed so that I can like get up early enough tomorrow to do the next activity. Like, does it all really matter? Like, if you had 1 week to live, what would you be doing? Would all those activities, would you be doing that? Would you be spending time with all those friends who don't make you feel good, who aren't good for you, who don't have your best interests in mind? Would you be involved with all these organizations and activities that aren't really doing anything except just keeping you busy and maybe causing you a whole bunch of headache? Like, what would you be doing the last week of your life? And I've written it out, and I try to live by that every day. Of course, I do not always abide by that. Like, sometimes I'll be talking to a parent or somebody and just be wanting them to hurry up and finish so that I can do whatever I needed to get done or thought I needed to get done. And I forget that, what if that was the last conversation I would ever have? It wouldn't matter if they're mad at me or if they're not. I would just be so enthralled in that conversation because I know that's going to be my last conversation. I'd just be hanging on to every word. You live life with such gratefulness and happiness when you do that. Like, there's a lady I watch on YouTube, and she's the one who inspired me to, become the way I am now. And she's probably the happiest person I know. But other than that, in real life, I feel like I'm the happiest, most radiant person that I know. And I think it's because I've sat down and thought through these things. I'm not going to wait till I'm 90 years old, because which of us make it to 90 years old? There's kids that are 17 and get in a car accident and they're gone. So it's what actually matters in life. I think what I've found really digging deep into it is, especially when I was younger and I was going through like whatever they call identity crisis, or just figuring out your reason for being here, is that the only thing that matters is glorifying God in everything we do. Like in Ecclesiastes, when you read it, that Solomon wrote, he had all the riches and everything. And then he writes, what is the sole purpose of man? And he says, it's to glorify God. It's to live for God. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that goes on for eternity. Nothing else. So I try to put that first, and being with family and just loving them and being with them. Because like, if I go out and like try to be this huge career person where I'm gone like all the time, like, what does it matter? What do I even need the money for? Like, to buy a bigger house, to buy nicer clothes, to take more vacations, like what? And do those things even really matter? Like, sure, they're nice in life, but does it really matter? I don't think it does. We're so focused on money in this capitalistic society that we forget the meaning we get from life, which is from our family and friends, and and helping each other and being surrounded and loved. So, there's people who they just cannot be still. They're in such a rush. And it's because they're running away from themselves. I know people like that. They have like this nervous energy. They're like always tapping their foot or just having to be hyper. And I know, because I used to be like that. And it's not a fun way to live. And you're definitely not at ease or at peace inside. But you can be. They don't have to live like that. And that's where inner work comes in. Where you realize, what are your shadows? What are you running away from? Because a lot of us, we're trained to be such high achievers and always be busy, never show that you're lazy, suppress the lazy part of you. That we forget that as human beings, we do have both sides. Sure, we can be super good at things, and it's all right to like lie on the bed for an hour, Like, we don't have to be 24/7 just at it. Because what is all this accomplishing for? It doesn't matter to half the people, or 99% of the people anyway. You know, doing shadow work is so amazing. You know, if you read Debbie Ford's books on it, because she's like, it's like a swimming pool and you're holding down this beach ball and you're trying to hold it under the water. So say it's, you know, you're trying to hold that, you don't want anyone to see that you're lazy, so you're trying to hold that behind the surface. So you have this one beach ball, and then you have this other beach ball, and then you have this other beach ball of all these traits you don't want other people to see. And then all of a sudden, at the most inopportune time, one of them and then all of them will just pop out. And that will be when you have a nervous breakdown or a panic attack or something worse. And we don't have to go there. So that's where inner work is so important. You know, it changes your life. It lets your feelings come up. It lets you heal. Because a lot of people, they're so busy because they don't want to deal with what's inside of themselves. And we hold trauma, whether it's perceived trauma or real trauma. Like a 5-year-old can perceive something that a grown-up would be like, oh, that was nothing. But that can be so stored in him that he's still reacting to that even when he's 90 years old. His 5-year-old self is still coming out and controlling the situation in that. So it's important because if we're always so busy, we never have the time to sit with that and release it and work through it and become free, that we're always on edge. And then we get dis-ease in our body and we get diseases from that. You know, this goes super deep. And if we're so busy, our body feels like we never have time to process it. And that's why when you can slow down and just have quiet time and just sit with things and release and do the inner work, things will start coming up and moving through, and then you'll become light. And it's because your body is like, okay, she's finally safe. We can work through these things now. And that's why this is so important. Because resentment, anger, hurt, all these things, we store it inside ourselves. And it shows on our face. That's why you see all these people, you know, they're like dark, they're closed off, you know, their face isn't glowing, they're not radiating. It's because they have all this stuff trapped inside of them. But you'll see that once you do inner work, years will shed off of you. You'll just become glowing and radiant because it does more than any skin cream does. It's honestly from the inside out. And if you want to know more about this or go deeper, I have a completely amazing course on this. It's in the link or in the description box below if you want to go deeper and completely transform your life and just step into your radiance and confidence and happiness and just feeling joy all the time and being healed and being at ease and being at peace. You know, in Arabic, the word sukoon is like this deep inner peace. And when I first heard about it, I was like, that's what I want. And I think all of us want that. Imagine how our life will be when we have that. You know, because life isn't all about, you know, the next thing. Like everyone's so busy going for the next thing. But what for? We're not even enjoying where we're at right now. The present is the only time to live. You know, the future hasn't happened yet and we can't control it. And the past has happened and we can't control that either. But we can only control what we are in the present. And that's the only second that we have that we know we have. You know, we never know if we get another breath. You know, every time we breathe, we might not get another breath. So live in the present, you know. It's a daily practice. That's what inner work is. It takes, you know, some time and, you know, effort to, you know, put into yourself, but it's so worth it. And yeah, you'll be amazed. So anyways, I hope that helped you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.